hello, audience in Taiwan mostly, I suppose. Welcome to this presentation. It's a presentation about NHL Stenden University of Applied Sciences. My name is Jasper Hofman. I'm the representative for NHL Stenden in Taiwan, amongst others. And I'll do a short, like max 20 minutes presentation on NHL Stenden before handing over to Mark and Dual, who will do like the in-depth conversation with you in Mandarin. A language I'm unfortunately not able to speak, so it's going to be English from now on. Before starting to talk about NHL Stenden, it's good, I think, to give a bit of context about studying in the Netherlands and a couple of things I would like you to remember when you think about studying in the Netherlands. Netherlands, as you might have researched already, is an open-minded, globally oriented country. The Netherlands and Taiwan also have a very strong relationship in terms of trade. In Europe, actually, the Netherlands is also the second largest exporting country in Europe. And perhaps when the German car industry completely collapses, we'll get the #1 position. So the country's got a very strong and still slowly growing economy. It's located in the heart of Europe. Almost everybody in the Netherlands speaks English, which is easy to just enter the country and be part of the community. So if you do your daily shopping, you can just use your English language abilities. Classes are obviously also completely in English. Education in the Netherlands has got a great reputation globally. There's actually no such thing as a bad university in the Netherlands. There's different types of universities, like research universities, universities of applied sciences, but it's not a matter of good or bad. It's always a matter of fit. And basically, there's a solid option, a good option for everybody looking to study in the Netherlands, because there's a wide range of programs available in English. So there's more than 120,000 international students studying in the Netherlands across different universities, bigger cities, smaller cities. Really a lot of student cities in the Netherlands, which are attractive to spend a few years of your life. And there's also post-graduation work options. I will tell you a bit later a few more details about those. NHL Stenden's got its campuses located in the northern part of the Netherlands. These small pink squares indicate where we have campuses with English taught programs. Our main campus is in the city of Leeuwarden, where we offer the majority of our English taught programs, including all the master programs which are in English. There's a small campus in Meppel, where we do our teacher education programs. And there's another campus, is also a bit smaller, in the city of Emmen, close to the border with Germany, where we do the IT, computer science, and supply chain undergrad programs. Now, within basically 2 hours, you are in Amsterdam from Leeuwarden and Emmen. Meppel is even a bit closer to Amsterdam. So traveling in the Netherlands is basically about short connections and not a lot of time lost while traveling between cities. The northern part of the Netherlands also got a strong regional economy, very good facilities for its citizens and its students. And one thing to remember is that it's also more peaceful and more affordable to live in the northern part of the Netherlands compared to Amsterdam. Amsterdam, obviously the capital, a big magnet for tourists and everybody who likes to come to the Netherlands. But Amsterdam is also a place where I know students might struggle to find, to live as a student because of high housing prices or unavailability of rooms, for example. So it pays off to look at also smaller to medium-sized cities in the Netherlands, cities basically like Leeuwarden, Meppel, and Emmen for your studies. NHL Stenden, although firmly rooted in the Netherlands, is a very internationally oriented uni. We have campuses in other parts of the world. They're located basically quite close to Taiwan, at least 2 of them. There's one small campus in Bangkok in Thailand, another one in Bali, Indonesia. And we also run a campus in South Africa, in Port Alfred. and a small one in Lucca in Italy, and we're opening a branch in Aruba in the Caribbean. And our undergrad students have the opportunity to be mobile between these campuses and learn something in a different environment, which is very, very enriching. We're also part of a university alliance in Europe. It's called RunEU, where our students work together on small-scale, short-term mobility projects, which is a great way to work together with other European institutes, international and domestic students on relevant projects. It's quite a unique university alliance. Well, most of our students study in the main campus in Leeuwarden. This is a picture of the main campus ground. Leeuwarden, charming, lovely city. It's not huge, but it's very comfortable. It's cozy. It's friendly and it's accessible. You can easily travel around in the city by bike. It's also a safe place to live for both boys and girls. So not a place where you have to worry about your safety. Place is also known for festivals and cultural events. Also because Leeuwarden was the cultural capital of Europe in 2018. And next to NHL Stenden, there's one other University of Applied Sciences located in Leeuwarden, and also the University of Groningen. It's got a small branch campus in Leeuwarden. So it's actually a place with a lot of students and international students alike. At NHL Stenden, there's around 3,000 international students who study and live in Leeuwarden. So a large number of international students to become part of that community. At NHL Stenden, we offer a wide range of undergraduate programs in English. All of these programs are 4 years, with the exception of green chemistry. That's a new program, which is available as a 3-year program only, so has different entry requirements. All the other programs are 4 years. And the programs in NHL Stenden have a few things in common. So whether you study teaching or hospitality or computer science or multimedia design or business, you work with our so-called design-based education teaching methodology, which I'll explain in one of the future slides. And every student in an undergraduate program will do 1 or 2 internships as part of your studies, because at NHL Stenden and universities of applied sciences in general, internships and the combination of theory and practice is pivotal to your learning. So the style of learning is different from a classical university where you expect to have a more theoretical experience. In NHL Stenden, it's very blended. So it's also about you growing your skills in communication, teamwork, critical thinking alike, which very well aligns with requirements of companies who look for students who not just know the stuff, but also know how to do the things in a company. That's something that you'll be prepared well for at NHL Stenden. In fact, we rank number 1 in the Netherlands for alignment with the industry from our program. So that's a good sign of a good preparation for your future careers as a student. I just mentioned the word design-based education or DBE. It's basically our key teaching methodology. And it's not so much a teaching methodology, it's more like a learning methodology. And it's about students working in groups, small groups of students from the Netherlands and abroad, who work on real-life assignments for real companies. So during your every study year, you work on a maximum of 4 of these projects. Obviously, you'll be supported by so-called subject lectures. So you have, say you're a student in business administration, you will have some classes in finance. You'll also have some literature about finance and economics. But the case you'll be actually working on with a real company is a real one, but based on the theory you are learning. We have all sorts of learning companies on campus and facilities, such as a media studio. And the most striking example of one of our companies on campus is our Notice Hotel, which is a 4-star hotel completely run and managed by our students. Now, what we always hear from students, and in particular from students from outside the Netherlands, that design-based education is very different, and in the beginning also quite difficult, because It's a very different way of learning, and it involves you as a student much more strongly than a theoretical studies. You'll be actively engaged in your learning. You participate in the real life assignment, which is, a bit of an attitude change you will need to go through while coming from most international countries. In the beginning, you might, struggle even a bit, but over time you will see the value of design-based education. And I know several of our alumni who still, look back on design-based education as a learning methodology that helped them tremendously, and also apply it actually in their real company during their careers. Next to this, we also work with a lot of company visits, industry fairs, so companies coming to campus to meet with our students and sharing internship or career opportunities after graduation. Getting into a bachelor program of NHL Stenden is probably not the most difficult thing you'll ever have to do in your life. The requirements are standardized and set by the Dutch government, and the Netherlands works with so-called minimum entry requirements, which kind of involves you to have a high school diploma, senior high school diploma, and an English proficiency of IELTS 6 or higher overall. We do have an English language preparatory course for students who have an English language proficiency in IELTS of 5 or 5.5. For most of our programs, we don't apply specific subject requirements. Exceptions are green chemistry, where there's a chemistry requirement, but there's also different academic requirements for that program. And for programs like hospitality and teaching, there is some selection involved in the application procedure, where you will be asked to take part in an interview with a lecturer and or a student from the program. The application deadline for our September 26 intake is June 1st, so that's the ultimate moment, but we always recommend students to apply actually before the 1st of March, largely, even if you don't have completed your academic pathways yet. At NHL Stenden, we also offer more and more international master programs. And master programs at universities of applied sciences are different from master programs at research universities. And the biggest difference is in the way we approach research. At NHL Stenden and universities of applied sciences in general, the research you'll be doing in the master program is more aligned with societal and company needs. So the project you will be doing is not like fundamental research on a particular topic, but it's applied research. For example, working on a real content and media strategy for a real organization, or working out a sustainable hospitality concept for a hotel or restaurant as your research assignment. So you combine, of course, the theory, but you apply the research for a real organization. Well, that's a big difference, which typically means that an applied science master aligns very well with for students who'd like to pursue a career in any sort of business, as opposed to a more research-driven master, which also prepares students well for academic pathways and PhDs alike. We've got 5 English taught master programs. The first 4 you see here: computer vision and data science, content and media strategy, sustainable innovation in hospitality, and international leisure, tourism and events management, are 1-year master programs on campus in Leeuwarden. The learning and innovation master, with a special track in international teacher education, is a 2-year part-time program, which is largely offered online, where you will only come to the Netherlands twice for a short residential couple of weeks of on-campus learning. Computer vision and data science is very much a program on the cutting edge of image data analysis. Image data obviously is a very fast-growing part of data science. A lot of data collected is image data, and of course, this field with artificial intelligence and image data is rapidly developing. So it's basically a niche within AI, with a strong focus on machine learning, deep learning, also maths, programming, and of course computer vision, which is the image data analysis part. NHL Stenden's got an excellent reputation in this area. We were amongst the first to start an AI professorship in the Netherlands, and this program is basically a spin-off of that professorship, so an applied professorship. Content and media strategy is the only program in the Netherlands as such who really, does what it promises, learn you how to become a content and media strategist for a company, and also actually compose such a content and media strategy for a real organization during your studies. Sustainable innovation in hospitality, formerly known as hospitality and service management, is more emphasizing now the sustainable innovation part of hospitality, but still containing a lot of topics around management and strategy, but then a bit more focused on sustainability, in which we also have a professorship in NHL Stenden for, I think, over 2 decades already. So the whole concept of sustainability in the fields of hospitality, leisure, tourism, and events is very well known in our institution. So these are 1-year master programs starting every year in September. And the entry requirements are a bit more flexible in a sense than they are for the bachelor's programs. Students are requested to have a related bachelor degree, IELTS 6 or higher, but we do always select on individual merits, which, for example, means that if you do not have a super related bachelor degree, but you might have some work experience in your area of studies, you will be considered a candidate. Work experience itself is not mandatory for any of our master programs, though it might help you to have a better context of each study program. A motivation letter is always part of the application procedure, but a selection interview will only be done in case there is maybe not a direct one-on-one fit between your academic profile and the course itself. If you do not yet have the language proficiency requirements, there's an option for you to go through a pre-master program first. The program also applies the same deadlines as the undergraduate programs. NHL Stenden also, and the Netherlands in general, prides itself to have a bit more affordable education than you might see globally, in particular in the UK or US or Australia. Fees for international students are just over 10,000 euros per year for bachelor programs, and for the master programs it basically ranges between 10,000 and 12,000 euros per year. So these programs have different set of tuition fees. Students who study an undergraduate program can pay in installments, 5 installments from the second year of studying onwards. What's great to know about studying at NHL Stenden is that we're one of the few universities in the Netherlands who's able to offer students guaranteed housing for the first year. Well, finding accommodation in the Netherlands in general is quite hard, but we have the happy circumstance that on campus in Leeuwarden we work together with Student Stay. Student Stay is our accommodation provider who has built like 5 towers. As you can see here on the picture, but you can see only like 3 here, but there's 5 now on campus where you can live in a different range of rooms, more affordable where you share more facilities, more expensive where you have more space and more privacy. So there's basically a bit to cater for everybody's personal needs. And on campus there's around 700 first-year students living every year. So it's also a great way for community building, and it's super ideal, I think, in particular for master students who typically only look for accommodation for 1 year because of the duration of their studies. Now, if you move on to private market accommodation as an undergrad student from the second year onwards, that is not very difficult because when you live in Leeuwarden, you have already established a bit of a network, so you'll become part of a community where it's quite easy to find other accommodation off campus from the second year onwards. In our other campus in Emmen and Meppel, we don't work with Student Stay because Student Stay isn't present there, but we have assured housing and qualified staff on campus who will help you to find accommodation. So in general, living as a student with NHL Stenden is not nearly as difficult as it is with some other places in the Netherlands. We think this is very important. This is a couple of examples of rooms in student stay in our Leeuwarden campus. Starts with dorms where you literally share a bedroom with someone else, hopefully not snoring, and where you also share kitchen and bathroom facilities. There's shared rooms with private bedroom, shared kitchen and bathroom, but with a private bedroom as mentioned. And then it starts to have more facilities from the studios onwards, where you also have like the opportunity to have of an own kitchen and bathroom. Some of these opportunities also allow you to share. So for example, a suite you can share with another person, also cutting the cost by 50% roughly. I'd like to conclude or almost conclude with a few things about career prospects in the Netherlands and at NHL Stenden. What our students always have on campus is a study coach. And a study coach is somebody who gets to know you well and vice versa during your studies, with whom you can also set and align learning goals and your own objectives, meeting your own ambitions. While you're a student, you also build your professional network during these design-based education projects, during internships, if you do them as an undergrad student, but also through all sorts of networking facilities, which are actually also arranged outside of campus. Last week, we had on campus, we had the industry fair for the hospitality management school, where about 70 companies from the Netherlands and abroad in the hospitality industry came to speak to students of these programs. And also a few weeks ago, there was a big career event here in the northern part of the Netherlands, where our students also had the opportunity to network with companies alike. Students with a very entrepreneurial mindset can set up their own business during studies, supported by the Center of Entrepreneurship. And we've already seen some small startups close to campus. So this is a very exciting development. We're monitoring closely and supporting the students who want to move forward in this area. In general, about staying in the Netherlands after graduation, there's a couple of things to bear in mind. The best prospects for students to stay in the Netherlands with the highest stay rates, as we call it, are in science, technology, engineering, and maths related subject. It's also very strong for education. It's good for business. It's less good for social sciences like psychology and law. So this is something to bear in mind if you have an idea of working in the Netherlands after graduation. Do proper research on, like, the average stay rates for your types of studies to see if it works out well with your own expectations. On average, we see that around 40%, and this number is increasing, of international graduates from outside Europe is still in the Netherlands 5 years after graduation, with an average salary of around 46,000 euros, which is a decent, well, I would say more than decent salary with 5 years of work experience under your belt. Students who want to stay in the Netherlands appreciate the country for a couple of reasons. And quality of life is definitely one of them. It also links to work-life balance. And work-life balance in general means that, we work in the Netherlands. We also like to work. We're not like the French in that respect, but we also appreciate a level of leisure, which kind of involves that, it's most jobs is 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and there's enough time to balance work and private affairs. Career development is another very important one, and also economic stability is a good one. The Netherlands has got one of the most stable economies globally. Also, things like the pandemic we came through quite well, I would almost say easily. And also the salaries paid in the Netherlands to graduates and employees is amongst the highest in Europe and even globally. There's some challenges for you as well to bear in mind. We already discussed a bit about finding accommodation. It's always a bit of a struggle, in particular in the larger cities of the Netherlands. and some vacancies in the Netherlands have a Dutch language requirement, which I think most of you will not be able to fulfill after spending a few years of studying and living in the Netherlands. Having said this, it's very much advised to start learning the Dutch language if you are interested in staying in the Netherlands after graduation upon arrival in the Netherlands. NHL Stenden and various other universities also support you in your language learning endeavors. This was the final slide of my presentation. Thank you very much for joining this part of the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
那我的名字是 Mark，那今天很荣幸的能给大家这一份线上的说明会。那目前我是在雀巢担任采购，那我主要服务的项目是包含扩厂方面的采购，有包含施工上的服务，还有以及设备上面的采购。那今天我要跟大家分享的主题包含四大部分：我的留学经验，我在荷兰学到的技能，荷兰产业趋势以及如何做好供应链相关的求职准备。最后想跟大家告诉大家一些关于留学注意的事项。那首先我想跟大家分享我在NHL Stenden 留学的经验。那其实 Leeuwarden 这个城市，就像Jasper 刚刚提到的，就是说荷兰其实 Leeuwarden 这个城市它是非常一个小的城市，但是它其实我问过很多同学来这里念书，其实很多同学都觉得 Leeuwarden 这个城市真的是非常非常让人家觉得舒服的城市，所以。其实像我本身自己是在都市长大的孩子，所以其实来到 Leeuwarden 之后，发现到自己的心情方面都沉淀了许多，然后想法方面也比较有多一点的空间去想更多的事情，而不是每天被许多不同的东西让自己感到每天的生活都很分心。那第二个部分是你可以看到右边的这张图，这是很像城堡的一个建筑物。那其实这之前在 Leeuwarden 它是一个监狱，那之后当地的政府把它改成于图书馆。然后这里的图书馆其实是免费开放给各位做使用，所以如果你假日或者是考试前想要准备找一个比较安静的地方读书的话，我觉得这边真的是一个很不错的选择。那 NHL Standen 其实它本身学校的设计是属于比较开放式的设计，那本身学校方面也是非常国际化的一个学校，然后学校不定期的它也会举办一些活动，去邀请各国不同的同学去分享他们国家的民族风情，所以我觉得对，就是整个学校的氛围，然后以及学校的环境真的非常的国际化，所以你可以也是借由学习的过程中，你也可以交到不同国家的朋友，也可以跟不同国家的同学下去做类似报告之类的东西。然后学校也有免费的咖啡可以提供给同学做取用，所以只要是早上8点的课程，对，学校都有免费的咖啡可以取用。那接下来就是我想要跟大家分享的是关于我在 NHL Standen 留学的课程经验，以及我实习的经验。最后这些经验是如何让我在现在的工作有非常加分的一个因素。那其实我在 Initial Standard 我是学 Content and Media Strategy。那这个课程其实它非常的有趣，就是像 Jasper 刚刚所提到的课程方面的话，它其实是你可以跟实体的公司就是下去做一个有点类似 internship 的过程。那在这个过程里面，你会帮公司做一个 content meta strategy，那公司可以真的去应用在他们的公司行销方面的策划。那其实也是因为在这个过程中，我的创意的思维以及我的批判性思考真的提升了很多。那老师方面的话，其实他也会给你一些相关的建议，就是你在每一次的报告中，你可以跟你的professor，就是他会跟你说哪些地方你可以进行讨论，或是哪些地方你可以进行调整，然后最后在你 present 给公司的时候，给公司的时候，学校也会要求公司填上一些就是反馈单，就是给你一些关于 你做出来成品的一些回馈。那在毕业后，我也到了鹿特丹的一间公司叫 Funk。那我那时候实习的职位是 Partnership Operations。那基本上在那一个在那一个实习的过程里面，其实我学到还蛮多的东西，是包含协商以及沟通的技巧。那其实，在 NHL Stenden 学到的东西，其实我也可以运用在就是我那时候在实习的工作方面。就像我帮我们的公司做一个 media campaign，它是专注在就是如何去跟我们的厂商有一个更紧密的商业关系。那其实我觉得这两个经验到我现在的工作，我觉得它真的让我现在在解决问题方面的技巧进步了非常多。然后我在看的东西再也不是就是局限在一个小框框里面，而是就是比较有大方向的概念去解决所有我现在在工作上所遇到的事情。然后也是因为就是实习方面的一个机会，让我在跟厂商沟通以及协商的时候，我能更注意到一些比较美角的东西，或是注意到更多的细节，并让我用这方面的方式，能更有效率的与厂商达到我们所想要的共识。那接下来想要跟大家分享我在荷兰学到的技能。那其实我在荷兰真的让我觉得收获真的非常大的是有3个技能，self-expression、teamwork 还有 social skills。那其实，在荷兰这个国家，大家都会觉得说荷兰人很直接，可是我会觉得说他们的直接反而是他们把自己想要的东西会很直接的跟你说。那我也觉得这是一件非常好的事情，因为其实我们人本身我们没办法去猜每个人的心里面在想什么。那如果你能很清楚的表达你自己想要的东西，那别人也能有办法，就是知道说，哦，你需要的是什么，然后给予你符合你所需要的协助。那再来第二点是 teamwork，那这是刚刚也像 Jasper 刚刚说的，其实在学校里面，如果你有很多机会可以跟不同的学生做小组的作业，然后在职场也是，你其实，在工作的时候，你不再是一个个体，你反而是跟不同的部门下去进行一个合作。因为你可能有些时候，像我是采购，可是我有的时候我会遇到一些问题是关于finance，或者是我会遇到一些问题是关于呃就是有一些关于厂商会问一些比较 technical 的 question，那这些问题其实我都必须要去跟像是 engineering team 或是 finance team 下去做一个 align。那也是因为这样子的关系，让我慢慢的了解，就是你跟不同部门的人工作，你可以了解到他们不同部门的思维，然后在这方面，其实本身自己是采购，也没有任何的 technical background，那也是因为借由这个机会，让我知道说很多东西原来是这么的有趣，然后也是因为这样子，我所有的见识也在呃，就让我更加的增广见闻。那最后我要讲的是 social skills。那其实你来到荷兰，你会发现到就是荷兰的不管是学校或者是公司，他们常会举办一些social event。那像非常在这里，我也非常鼓励同学可以去参加这种 social event，因为它可以让你认识到不同的朋友。然后以认识不同的朋友，你也可以交换你们就是交换各个国家不同的民族风情。那这方面也可以让你自己不再局限在一个小框框里面，而是让你可以更加的了解各个国家不同的生活方式。那第二点，在公司的话，像如果你有机会可以跟不同部门的人做不同公司不同部门的同事做一个社交的话，其实在你工作上有问题的时候，你可以知道说你有问题，遇到某些问题，你可以去找哪一个部门下去解决你的问题。所以我觉得这些都是真的是可以在工作方面更有效率，然后也是非常加分的一个因素。那接下来要跟大家分享了解荷兰产业趋势以及如何做好供应链相关的求职准备。这里我不会 只专注于在供应链相关的准备，我可能会讲一个比较大方向，因为我相信各位同学不一定会只有选择想要往供应链下去发展。那其实最基本也是最直接的，第一个地方就是你要去找到你求职的渠道，去找哪些工作版有在专门是在投职缺的。那这边很推荐各位有 LinkedIn、Glassdoor 跟 Indeed。那如果真的不知道的话，也可以就是想要找比较具体一点的职缺的话，可以打上工作的名称，然后加上 job board。那打上这个东西的话，你可以找到很多不同的工作版，它是专注于在某一项职缺里面，所以它会让你更有方向的下去找到比较你想要走的这个方向里面。那看完这些工作职缺之后，你也可以去做比较，找出不同工作相似的职缺里面，你可以找到不同相似度的工作要求。那也就是因为借由这些工作要求，你可以下去进行一个比较，哪些东西是比较相似的，然后哪些东西是自己缺乏的。那如果是自己缺乏的，就下去慢慢的补足。那如果是非常相似的，那我觉得，对啊，基本上你就是有符合到他们的要求。那我在这里非常鼓励各位同学，如果你今天这个相似度是已经60甚至70%了，我就觉得不要犹豫了，就投出你的履历，因为真的你很难可以达到有100%的，就是相似度符合的，因为其实这真的是非常的难，所以我建议说60或70%就开始投了，不要再犹豫了。那每一次你投出去，虽然结果不一定会是你想要的，可是至少你踏出了那一步。然后这边也是要跟同学说，如果你有看到就是有关于就是像公司有要求签证之类的，就是说你一定要有什么某些签证的话，那这就是公司的要求，所以你也不用再特别说想要去申请这份工作，如果你没有签证的话。那这边这边也想要分享一些实用的一些资源。这里有英文实用的180个单字，它可以用在你的cover letter 跟你的CV 上面。然后也很建议同学去网络找一些样本进行参考。然后接下来是之前我们有一个就是 preparation，就是 Employability Services。那这个这方面的服务是基本上是之前我在另一间学校，他们有提供这方面的服务。那他们这个东西是有包含，就是你在 interview 前，他会跟你做一个1对1的模拟实境，让你知道说面试官会常问的问题是什么。第二点是你的 CV 还有你的 cover letter 哪些东西有问题，那也是因为这些回馈，你可以进行一个调整。那最后就是 practice，对，practice makes perfect。所以如果在面试之前，我建议说，同学可以跟其他同学先做一个1对1的访谈，然后下去找那个语感。第二点是，我也很建议同学就是可以用一个 recording 的方式，就是把自己面试的，就是把自己整个问与答的地方把它记录下来。那同学也可以在网络上找到很多常见的就是 interview questions，那用这方面下去做准备，其实你在 interview 的时候比较不太会吃螺丝。第二点是，你可以更有信心的回答面试官给你的每一个问题。所以我觉得这真的是一个非常非常重要的一个地方。然后同学也务必要记住。那最后就是关于留学必须注意的事项。那你如果今天是本科生的话，那我是建议说，如果你不太习惯这种全英授课的模式，我会建议去增加英文的听力。那这边很建议各位同学去看一个 DW documentary。那它这个 YouTube channel，它这个平台，它其实包含了很多社会时事，然后也有一些永续的主题，像是 sustainability 这一块，他们都有包含在里面。那其实我也是在学习的时候，我也是常看这些 documentary，这让我基本上也在我写报告的时候也非常有帮助，因为这些东西其实是看到有些东西不是在课程上面你可以所学到的，但是自己也可以在研读。 第二点是，很建议大家去熟悉一下国外写论文的架构。那同学可以借由看一些research paper 下去找出说，每一个论文的架构大概要怎么写。那其实很直接的就是每一个区块就是一个萝卜一个坑。那其实大家只要去详读这些东西的话，基本上都会大概知道说，之后写论文或是报告的话，就比较不会这么吃力。那如果你是非本科生的话，我这边很建议就是大家去上一些线上课程，在学前做一些准备，这样至少你可以打个底。那这边建议的平台是 Coursera 或是 LinkedIn Learning。那这两个平台其实LinkedIn Learning 我记得好像是要付费，可是 Coursera 好像不用付费，除非你是要那个 certificate，你才需要付费。那最后这边也建议给大家一些比较实用的网站，像是 ResearchGate、Academia 跟 Science Direct 这三个网站，其实对同学如果要找一些学术文件，真的非常有帮助。然后，因为你在这里写论文或是写报告的话，老师都一定会要求你要有参考题集。那你在这些网站基本上都可以找到你想要找的一些参考文献。那这边我也有一个学术单字的 link，那之后也会分享到聊天室给大家。最后一个部分就是 module book。module book 这个东西其实基本上就像我们课纲一样，就是在每个学期老师都会给你这一份 module book，你也必须要去详读这些 module book，因为这个 module book 里面也会讲到说老师对报告或是你论文的要求是什么。所以基本上你如果照着 module book 上面写的内容下去写你的报告或论文的话，基本上就不会跟老师的预期超出太多。那这就是我今天要跟大家分享的，以上就是我要跟大家分享的资讯。